Hi guys, LUDEON here. I'll try to keep this one short, don't laugh, seriously. So let's start positive by reminding everybody Rimworld is an amazing game. It's one of the games I support and believe in the most for two reasons. One, the experience. It's a fluid, engaging world of colonist survival that changes every time you play it with massive replayability, hilarious dangers and character interaction which really has a significant level of detail. 2. It's created primarily by one man, Tynan Sylvester, but also his studio, LUDEON. Anyone who has been following Rimworld through its development will know just how hard Tynan has worked on this game. When he released updates, they were not just bug fixes, they were bug fixes and massive content patches. He has made no attempt to push people towards funding via anything in-game. There's no word of DLC or special editions of the game. He has made a great game through his sweat and probably tears, and people should appreciate that. Let's be clear, Rimworld is a fucking bargain of a game. It's worth double what they were asking in my opinion, similarly to how I was astonished at the low price of Cities Skylines when that came out. Now, when I made a video reminding people that Rimworld was out, but could you trust my opinion because I said it was a great game, at the end I noted a post made on LUDEON Studios which stated not to buy Steam keys from third-party sellers. As we all know, hackers steal credit card details, use them to buy keys, and then they will sell those on third-party sites like G2A. They redeem the keys, then sell them at half price. The card holder will often notice the fraud, get it reversed, and then the scammers have their money from the reselling fee. The dev has to pay the key plus the chargeback, but the dev will often cancel the key as well, which means that the only one who benefited from it is the scammer. And I suppose maybe G2A, if they get some kind of percentage there. I don't know if they benefit. I assume that they get something out of it, right? Now, gaining keys to resell through Steam is not as possible. It's more difficult. But if the keys are available elsewhere, this is how those resellers get hold of them and then post them up on other sites to, sell them on at a cheaper value. They know it's going to be cheaper because they know that key may well get taken down if it's been illegally obtained. LUDEON has always sold copies of Rimworld from its own site, but obviously this doesn't help a reseller. They need that Steam key. So when LUDEON made copies of Rimworld available through Steam this week, you get the key from their website and then they can translate it to a Steam key for you. They wanted to give people the option to purchase still from LUDEON, because this way they would make slightly more of a profit than Steam when it's taking its cut. You'd still be able to get a Steam key, you just purchased it directly from the dev. Now, for anyone who's about to say, well, that's just greedy of the dev, they should have known better than this and, just left it to be sold on Steam, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you. This game is a small indie title and the dev have worked insanely hard to produce a game which is among my favourite of the past 2 years. They deserve everything they get, and I have purchased multiple copies from them for friends after they initially gave me that code to check out and review back in 2014. LUDEON and Tynan and Rimworld, it's a great product. They deserve to get the most value that they can out of their product. So only a few days after this was all live, LUDEON posted that they were stopping sales of Steam keys from the site because they were being hammered by fraudsters. Now, there's an important clarification posted on the 18th which stated only about 85 keys were cancelled by LUDEON, less than 0.1% of the total being distributed. That's positive. That means they haven't had a great amount of damage done to them. But if LUDEON were getting chargebacks just from that 1% there, 85 keys at $15 a pop, those keys, that's still around $1,200 they got to pay. And I think the point here is that LUDEON have shut this down before it spiraled out of control for them. That's positive, but it also shows how damaging this can be. They have to stop something which is very beneficial for them as a company, and maybe, they could have made more profit there. It means that potentially they then have it's more viability in terms of making new products further on, expanding the game. It has a big impact on what they as a company can do. So these resellers, like I have said endlessly, I have said this time and time again, resellers damage these indie devs. They damage the production of games. They damage the experience for us. It means we potentially don't get games because these fucking resellers are damaging them. Now, what's, as I say, not positive is that LUDEON were trying to give people a choice. They're trying to give people a choice in where to purchase. They wanted to allow people to say thank you for your efforts by purchasing directly from them. Now that cannot happen. Why? Because of these reselling websites. If G2A got their shit together and actually shut down illegal reselling, this wouldn't be an issue. On the day of release, reselling of Rimworld keys popped up on G2A, which I highlighted to them. They got back to me linking their posts about security and dev support in a standard customer service reply. As of this video going live, though, these Rimworld resellers are still posting. Now, how can we be sure that G2A has any wrongdoing here? Well, LUDEON stated clearly that any keys being sold outside of their own site would be fraudulent keys. Also, in a Twitter reply, which I had from a G2A representative, at least I think he was a rep, his profile sounded like it could be unofficial, so I'm not sure on that one. You can see it right here, but I think he's official. Still, this guy replied and stated he had received an email and that he would respond about the issue. I have sent no email to G2A, so he could only be referring to Tynan, the developer of Rimworld, who I had tagged into that tweet, which suggests to us that Tynan was speaking with G2A, very likely, about this reselling of Rimworld keys. That is my speculation. So this points to the fact that G2A, despite all their promises, are still doing no good and selling stolen keys, still damaging small hardworking developers who just want to make great games and don't deserve to be fucked over by faceless reselling companies who are desperately trying to make their company look legitimate when it's been clear to everybody from very early on that it was not the case. Rimworld is an amazing game. I cannot recommend it enough, guys. Go check it out on Steam. The link is down below in the notes. Tell people you know about it. Let's help support Tynan and LUDEON Studios because I want to see them keep making amazing games. Lastly, if you want, I have included the 2 legal pages linked to me by G2A. They're also in the notes. In short, they speak about introducing new front-end verification for G2A sellers to try and eliminate the kind of, illegality issues going on there, and ongoing feedback with the devs. I would suggest that this is not working, as clearly these shady activities are still ongoing. They also speak about their G2A dev support system. Now that's all well and good if you as a developer want to work with G2A straight out of the gate. LUDEON Studios did not, so why were their keys still cropping up on G2A? Basically, I interpret this developer support system as G2A saying, hey, you don't want to get screwed over by illegal resellers? Well, come work directly with us and you can ensure that that won't happen. For me, companies like G2A exhibit the very worst attributes: lack of direct action against damaging resellers to developers and capitalizing on that situation by trying to strong arm developers to work with them. I find these kind of behaviors to be highly damaging and very unethical. Thanks for watching today. Please tell me your thoughts about this in the comments below. Tell me your experiences with Rimworld and how good of a game it is, and tell me your opinions about companies like G2A.